one of the best things about photobiomodulation, or specifically in this case red light therapy and red light in general, is its versatility. And I'm not talking just about its versatility with direct application on the body, but the fact that now I'm sat here with one of my red lights on, an old red light that I had when I first got them, and it's been my night light for almost 2 years now, which kind of emphasizes the longevity of the light bulbs. So in a indirect way, that is positively affecting my ability to sleep. I've just finished having a direct application on my ankle because I was juvenile today, and as far as when I was out for my walk, there was a football near some a football goal, and so I decided to kick the ball into the goal twice, of which I know will damage my ankle a little bit, but you know, I'm a kid at heart, so if there's a football and a goal, I've got to kick that ball into the goal. So I've had direct application of red light on my ankle to reduce the swelling, reduce the pain, and I've got the red light now in the corner that's improving, or that's allowing my own processes to work. They're not being inhibited by blue or green lights from computer screens, outdoor lighting, artificial lights, etc., etc. I don't have my computer on, I don't have my TV on, I have my phone on, but I've turned the hue right up to red, so I can't see any green or blue colours in my phone. And so it just goes to show the versatility. And if you are someone that is now sat watching this and your screen is on blue, then I apologise. Or if your screen is on kind of normal lighting, then you are affecting your body's ability to produce melatonin, and therefore you're affecting your quality of sleep, but also what you can achieve during your sleep. And so maybe you wake up tomorrow and you are slightly more fatigued than you could be. Maybe you wake up tomorrow and your mitochondria aren't as efficient as they could be. And when it comes down to it, your mitochondria and the health of your mitochondria are the be-all and end-all. Without mitochondria being able to function and produce energy for you, you don't exist. At its basic level, you don't exist. And so allowing mitochondria to function on an efficient level on a day-to-day basis should be a priority of your health and wellness regime. It just has to be. Because otherwise you are just leaving potential positivity for granted. You're just taking it for granted and just saying, I wish I had more energy to do that. You could have more energy. You could have more energy if you prioritise your sleep and you prioritise mitochondrial health. So for example, today when I went out for a walk this morning, the great thing was I didn't see many people with sunglasses on, but I saw 2 people with sunglasses, one walking a dog, and another one wearing sunglasses and drinking a Red Bull. Now, to me, that's like putting a cloth over a lamp and turning the lamp on. Because that is what you are doing. If you are unsure of how your light is affecting your ability to function at any level, spend a week where when it gets dark outside, inside you have candlelight and stuff like that. Candlelight or red light, orange light, and you turn the screens off when it gets dark outside. Just spend a week doing that. Alright, and what you'll find is all of a sudden you start to fall asleep. You start to be drowsy and want to go to sleep at at 10:30, 11 o'clock. But that sleep that you are able to get into very quickly, and because your melatonin levels have risen, are not inhibited by any of the artificial lights, all of a sudden you're getting good quality sleep from the outset. All of a sudden, when you wake up in the morning, maybe you wake up half an hour earlier because your body has got sufficient amount of sleep. You're not woken up by an alarm and waking you up in an artificial part of your sleep or a non-optimized part of your sleep, all of a sudden, because you needed more sleep because your melatonin levels weren't right when you went to bed. All of a sudden you're waking up by yourself because you've had enough sleep. Do you understand like how this is going to affect you? And then all of a sudden, instead of having to wake up in the morning by an alarm because you didn't get the right amount of good quality sleep because your artificial light at night disrupted your melatonin levels, so you didn't get good quality sleep, and then because you didn't get good quality sleep, you had to sleep slightly longer, which meant that you were woken up by an alarm, which meant that you were woken up by an artificial stimulus at the wrong part of your sleep. Therefore you feel slightly more drowsy when you wake up. Then you have to pick up a coffee, which is just going to create an artificial stimulus, and then you put your sunglasses on, or you don't get outside, which doesn't anchor your circadian rhythm in place for the day and doesn't allow melatonin levels to rise and reach the peak level that they could do if you did get out in the morning. And then so you don't get out as much, you're not as active as you should be because you haven't got the motivation and you haven't got the energy because your sleep the night before wasn't as good as it should be. And therefore your mitochondrial the kind of rejuvenation of your mitochondria overnight, the restoration of the oxidative damage that would occur if you got enough and good quality sleep didn't occur. So you're on kind of yesterday's mitochondria and they're not as efficient as they could be. And so you haven't got as much energy to do as much, so you stay indoors, and therefore you don't get the right light. You don't do as much either. And because you don't get the right light, and you've had coffee and stuff like that, all of a sudden your sleep, and then you feel a bit drowsy, and then you put the artificial lights on again. Which what happens? You reduce your melatonin spike, you reduce your melatonin peak, and therefore your quality of sleep is worse than it could be again. And what happens then? So then you don't get to the restoration of the oxidative damage of the mitochondria from the day before. And you wake up, and what do you have to do? You have to get a bit of coffee because you're not waking up at this right time because you needed to sleep longer again. Do you see how it just kind of just goes round in circles unless you start to prioritize it? And so there are red lights, like I said. I use some of the red lights, and that's why on my site at the moment I have some older model red lights that I sell off like half the price of the normal ones. But the great thing is you can put them, because they're just a screw fit, it's just an E27 screw fit bulb, and you can put them into normal light fittings. But the amazing thing is right, put it in that light fitting if you're not going to use it, but at the same time you can use it for therapeutic benefits. So I go, I've sprained my ankle, I need to get rid of some of the pain and the inflammation. Or I'm just going to go and use that lamp that I usually have as my night lighting because I know it works and it's beneficial for me. But then I'll screw it back in and that'll be my night lighting again. So it becomes that flexibility of a light that you can have in the corner, and then you can just literally take it out and use it on yourself because you've got an ache and a pain that you want to get rid of, or you want to improve your eyesight, so we start to use the red parts of the light, or that you've got some spots or skin issues that you might need to get rid of. You've just cut yourself, and it's you want to improve your healing because the flexibility is there. So I've talked about two things here: with the flexibility of red light therapy, the flexibility of red lights in general, both as an indirect addition to your health and wellness and as a direct application benefit to your health and wellness. It's so flexible that every single person should have a red light of some shape or form in their life, in their house. And as we go into winter, as we go into autumn to winter time, our ability to get out into the sun and get those reds and those infrareds on our skin whilst being outside is decreasing every single day. And so we need to supplement with it. We don't need to supplement. We would function better if we supplement with it. And that's the great thing about red light therapy is that you can give this particularly amazing energy into your body, that your body, specific parts of your body respond to specific wavelengths of light, and they are hugely effective in the red and in the near infrared range, how they respond to it. Now in the summer when we're outside and we've got a lot of body exposure, that's fine, but in the winter where we've got so many clothes on, it's dark and it's cold, so we've got so many clothes on, we are depriving our body of a key pair of wavelengths of light. But with having a red light system in your house at those specific wavelengths, you feed your mitochondria that wavelength of light, which allows them to work more efficiently. And so if it allows them to work more efficiently, the red light does, the infrared light does, and then we also use the red light as evening lighting instead of our bright blue lighting or daylight lighting that a lot of us have in our house, which then further amplifies the effect of health and wellness through allowing our melatonin peak and spike to rise naturally, which then allows for mitochondrial restoration, oxidative stress restoration during the night, which allows us to wake up the next morning feeling refreshed and full of energy. And then if we feed it again with a little bit of extra red light, that further improves our mitochondrial function. And then we go, but it also, then we put it on in the evening, which allows us to sleep better, which improves our mitochondrial function. And you see, instead of going from this negative thing where we are getting disrupted sleep, disrupted circadian rhythm, crappy energy levels, we are now looking at, okay, we've got some red light, we've got some daylight, we've got some red light, we've got some daylight, we've got some good sleep, we've got efficient mitochondria. If we've got efficient mitochondria, we've got more energy. If we've got more energy, we can do more stuff, we can accomplish more things. And so it's important that you understand the whole benefits of having red light. Enjoy your Saturday evening. I know it's a late one, and I apologise if you are watching it with a bright blue backlit screen, as I was just talking about how that's going to interrupt your melatonin levels. But you can turn them down. You can get iris programs on your computer. I'm not sure what there is for a TV. You can get screens that go over your TV. You can definitely do it on your phone. And if you've got any